It's all the drama, Mick. I just love it.
It's the drama everybody's talking about.
Oh, what's occurring?
Did something happen on a fishing trip?
The cult classic.
You're eating ham, Pam.
Where's the salad, Dor?
There's the salad. Now leave me alone.
Lamb boner, prawn boner, mushroom rice, bag of chips, keema naan and 9 poppadoms.
And truth be told, it has its fair share of cult characters.
What does a young London boy like between his bread?
What?
But what's it like to appear on one of the most beloved sitcoms of all time?
You look fabulous.
I know.
Owain Hughes. And before you ask, no, I don't.
Right, so shall
Hang on, Gav.
This is the Gavin and Stacey experience.
Where to's the fake tans?
I'll show you now.
Where better to start the show than the very spot where Gavin and Stacey first declare their love for each other. Now, Barry is much more than just a location for this show. It's a character in its own right, and this promenade has been home to many a memorable moment. Just over there, we've got Nessa's slots. Now, Stacey, she used to work in that cafe Marco's just there. Dave's coaches. He used to come along the roads around here and drop people off just on this spot.
When are you going to bob dim? I say ffordd.
Sorry, Dick, we just...
Corci mynach mawr.
We just yn gweithio.
Stican.
I'm just working at the moment.
Sirloin. Llygad ar asen.
I'm just working. Sorry, I don't need any meat.
87 ceiniog am 2 steak.
87 pence for 3 steaks? Let's have a look at that.
Now then, has Dick Powell come a-calling yet?
Dick Powell, and no, we're not related, is mentioned several times throughout the series.
I know of just one man in Barry that speaks Welsh. Dick Powell.
He's the wheeler-dealer of Barry.
Dick Power. You just knocked on the door.
But you can't always rely on the quality of what you buy.
We're too dickheaded to sadden off. Dick Powell. Oh, well, you've only got yourself to blame.
No, I know he's tricky.
Smile!
Well, I know we're getting the meat from Dick. Dick Powell?
No, Bryn. Hello, Beth.
Dick's brother Rick works in a slaughterhouse in Llanelli, which is the source of his meat supply sold in the back alleys of Barry. All totally legit, of course, and incredible value. Portrayed by the actor Gwynfor Roberts. It led to one of the character's most iconic scenes.
His steaks are 87 pence.
Well, that is good. 87 pence for a steak?
No, not 87 pence each. 87 pence for 3.
You've had a good shave there, to be fair,
Well,
on that day.
I'm a bit younger there as well.
No, not at all. You haven't aged a day. How'd you feel watching it back?
Great, actually. It was the first scene of the day. My first day on set.
Yeah.
And I was panicking a little.
Yeah.
In fact, there was when we were filming, I did make a mistake, and I went, "Oh, twat," like this. And Uncle Bryn said, "Oh, you sell twats, do you?" I said, "Yeah, 10 pence a pound." But yeah, no, everybody likes a bit of Dick, I think.
Did you have a sense when you first stepped onto set that there was something different about this show? There was something special about it?
To be honest, no. I mean, obviously it was good, and you see the scripts and you see that and think, oh yeah, this is all right. Yeah, this will be good for a laugh. But never in a month of Sundays would you realise that it was going to be so big and so popular.
You still live around here, don't you?
I do.
How often are you stopped? Because I've only been with you a couple of hours. You've been stopped 3 times already.
It does happen. It does happen. I try to wear a disguise, but no, they say, "Aren't you Dick Powell?" Well, I was.
And how do you feel about that all these years later? Some mornings you must think, going, oh, somewhere.
No, you don't really, because obviously, if it wasn't for the audience, if it wasn't for the people who love Gavin and Stacey, then, I've lived in Barry now for nearly 40 years. And the difference that Gavin and Stacey has made to the Barry Island and to the people and to the shops and premises is amazing. It's really done a really good job for Barry Island. We're privileged to know that you're part of something that is so popular and people do recognise you, and you think, wow, that's nice, because I only had a small part. I wasn't a major,
but you're small, but an impactful, because people still remember,
They do, yeah. Yes. But that's down to the writing, I'm sure.
Do the local butchers give you a cheap deal on the meat?
Oh, they give me a hard time. Undercutting their profits.
Dick Powell also plays a part in a moment of comedy gold that was filmed in this church.
Who here likes sandwiches? Stand up and tell us your favourite sandwich.
I likes a tuna, Father Chris. I won't lie to you.
Tuna. Dick Powell, how about you?
Fi? O, fy hoff frechda ni yw cig iar a Celsig, Sir Forganog.
Right, that's chicken and Glamorgan sausage.
Yeah.
Odd choice, but it's your choice. Stefan Powell, how about you?
I know it's boring, but I just like cheese. Father Chris appears at some crucial points in the Gavin and Stacey story. From Neil, the baby's christening.
We welcome you, Neil, Noel, Edmund Smith, into the family of the church. Let's give him a round of applause, everyone.
To Nessa and Dave Coach's wedding.
Do you love him, Vanessa? Do you love David?
Yeah, I do.
But the favourite sandwich scene has become a fan favourite.
The point is that the bread is the Holy Spirit, the mayonnaise / butter is the Father, and the filling is the Son. We all like different fillings, but ultimately the bread remains a constant, just like God. But forget it, you've ruined it. Now sit down!
You really do go for it there at the end, didn't you? Was he expecting it to be like that, do you reckon?
Yes. Yes. Maybe I wasn't, but... yeah.
Can you remember when you got the script for Gavin and Stacey for the first time?
I do remember getting the script and opening it and thinking, oh my God, this is long. Because it was like about 4 or 5 pages. I thought, oh, crikey. But I remember reading it and thinking, oh my God, this is a really spectacular piece of writing, really, more than anything. And worth actually getting my head down and learning it and perfecting it, really, as much as I could.
Yeah.
Really. Which I do to be fair, to almost everyone.
You're a professional, William, come on.
Well, thank you very much.
So it's 4 or 5 pages long. It's like a Shakespearean soliloquy in comedy terms. William,
yes,
right?
yes.
You give it a bit of welly as well, it's fair to say.
Towards the end I do, yes. I was not good at the end of it because there was a lot of welly, but also you're kind of elated in a sense because you've gone through it.
Yeah.
It was quite terrifying, to be perfectly honest, because I think I was up there.
Yeah.
Gazing down at all this kind of this mega talent actually in these seats here in the pews. I think I got as far as there and I forgot Doris's name. So we had to go back to the top and anyway, after that it was fine.
We were just looking at the visitors book for the church and people who come to see it, to sort of, because they love the show so much, they want to go and see the locations. Many people are putting their favourite type of sandwiches in that book.
Really?
Yeah, as a result of you and your work.
Oh my God.
It's quite impressive the impact that the show has had, all these years later.
Yeah, I know. Any show that has a following proves, it's a great honour to be part of something like that. I mean, for instance, the other piece of comedy that I've is my claim to fame, is that I was the barman when David Jason fell through the bar.
Well, I was thinking Twin Town.
No.
Now you say it. Well, of course.
No. But again, you see, it's a great, privilege to be a part of that, of comedy history in a sense.
Of course you will, William. You've done so many things that are sort of have got a bit of a cult following, and this is up there with all of them, if not perhaps the most.
I've been quite fortunate to be involved and associated, as it were, with moments like that.
If anyone needed reminding of what a big deal Gavin and Stacey is, you just have to take a look at the crowds that gathered during the filming of the final episode.
All of it. It's all overwhelming. In fact, this is the last time we'll probably be here. All of it. It's wonderful. It's great.
People are desperate to be part of the Gavin and Stacey experience. So imagine playing not one, but 2 characters in the show.
If you see something like my fiancé, don't mention about the others, because he don't know, and I think it's better not to tell him.
Mum's the word.
Son's the word.
Oh, love, I'll take all of this, all right? But I don't need another whip.
You look fabulous.
I know. I feels it.
Now, your day on set, I suppose, Gillian, would have been somewhere quite similar to this, in a hotel,
Yes.
being the lingerie lady. Can you remember that day?
I hadn't seen Ruth in her costume until the take, which I think is a good idea.
Oh, so that was your natural reaction then?
I was on the edge. And I think that's where she shines. She wants to get that first take, you know. And so when she opened the curtains quite violently, and that made me laugh for a start, the sound of it, like that. And I thought, oh, here we go. I looked, and yes, I wanted to laugh. And so it sounded a bit like as if I was swallowing my sentence. And I said, oh, Ness, you look fabulous. I could hardly breathe.
Yeah.
I just took a little bit of a breath and wanted to laugh. She looked amazing, actually.
Not corpsing is I think, one of the top skills of comedy actors.
Oh, I love,
how you don't start laughing.
I love the fact that we're on the edge.
Yeah.
And it's in the face, you know, and you think, yeah, I'm going to go now in a minute. No, you just, ooh, that was close. I love having a good laugh. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, and so does Ruth, you know, she's great.
I suppose we'll talk about your relationship with Ruth, because you and Ruth are more than just colleagues, but you're close friends as well.
We are, but I don't announce it because people want to know a lot about Ruth, and we have lots of fun together when we meet up. I think it's absolutely amazing that she's got this series right up there. You know, and all the actors she's got around her, you know, Rob Brydon and, you know, Corden, you know, and I mean, she's got all the best people around her, you know. Alison Steadman, I mean, Larry Lamb, I mean, you can't go wrong.
How do you reflect back on the experience of being in the show? The fact that we're here having this conversation, the fact that people still come up to you and talk about it. How do you feel about that?
It's been an absolute pleasure to be part of Gavin and Stacey, because the atmosphere in the series is terrific, and everybody, I don't think I've ever been in a series that's so happy and joyous and lots of fun, you know, and people laughing, and Ruth handles it so well. I've never known anybody like her.
Right, so shall we...
Hang on, Rosie. I wasn't expecting you to copy me there. I wasn't expecting you to copy me there. How you did that for 32 seconds, I don't know. What was that, like 10? Natalie Lewis, played by Catrin Mayhew, is one of Stacey's arch rivals after Nessa once had a fight with her dad and her brother. In the tense scene, as Gavin and Stacey try and buy a pregnancy test, they have a face-off.
Right, so shall
Hang on, Gav.
It goes on for ages, isn't it, the
Oh
stairs?
my gosh, it really does.
Oh, God, I hate her.
How do you feel when you see it back?
I mean, it does really feel like a lifetime ago. It's over 15 years ago now, so, but it was my first TV job, so everything was new anyway. And I filmed it 2 days after I graduated as well, so...
Oh, straight into work, not mucking around?
No. And I was just really nervous about not laughing during the really long steering competition.
How long did that take to film? How long did you have to hold the stare?
Oh, gosh.
'Cause it feels like an eternity on as a viewer.
It does. I mean, everything feels much longer. I would imagine that it's over 30 seconds, perhaps.
One of the things that I always think it must be one of the hardest things about being an actor is remembering your lines. Well, for you, in your first job, there wasn't that many lines to remember, I suppose.
No. It would have been even more embarrassing if I failed to do that. But no, it's just that extremely long stay and gap.
You're now a teacher, so you've sort of decided to step away from the boards, as it were. Yeah. But your scene in particular, though, has got a bit of a second life, hasn't it, as an internet meme?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
It's just hilarious. I mean, the first time one of the pupils asked me, "Oh, miss, can I show you something on my phone?" I said, "Yes, okay, it is on TikTok, okay."
Oh, gosh.
Okay, you're on TikTok. And I panicked because I don't know what I thought.
But you do hear horror,
hear horror stories,
don't you?
But then it was the Gavin and Stacey scene. So it was just funny, and yeah, once a year there's a sort of a new wave of the children and the pupils here. They come across the scene, and it does still surprise me that, you know, it's still something so new and exciting for them as well, because they weren't born when it was filmed and broadcast. So it feels just
it's obviously an impactful scene.
Oh, it's so brilliantly written. It's so brilliantly written.
Yeah. How do you feel about the fact that it's often Gavin and we're still here chatting to you about Gavin and Stacey rather than some of your other work? Do you know what I mean? Because there's a two-sided of that coin, and some people love it, some people might be a bit...
As in, I'm never going to complain, you know, as in, it speaks for itself. It's there's a reason why it's so popular. And it's just really lovely that something so Welsh is appreciated and enjoyed so far afield.
Gavin and Stacey has firmly won its place as one of the most loved sitcoms of all time. And another cult character is currently starring in the West End stage version of another British favourite.
Owain Hughes. And do you?
No, I don't.
Hi, nice to meet you, Gavin Shipman. Owain Hughes. And before you ask, no, I don't. This guy in work,
Owain Hughes? Yeah, and before you ask, no, he doesn't.
But not everyone gets the joke.
What's his name again?
Owain Hughes.
Before you ask, no, I don't. Right, am I being fit? Because I just don't get that.
Me neither.
They say Bryn found it funny.
Yeah, they all did.
Yeah, that joke is it's got to run and run.
Are you gonna have to have it on you, not to be too morbid?
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
Stephen Mayo. No, I don't. Yeah.
When you got that script for the first time and you're reading Owain, what was your first sort of thought?
My first thought was, what the hell is this joke?
Straight away.
Straight away. Yeah, because I read through it. I was like, I'm not getting this. I reread through it and asked my Welsh speaking family. I asked everyone, and I thought I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm gonna have to ask.
Yeah.
And I remember walking in, and because I'd worked with Ruth before, there isn't a joke, is there? And thankfully she went, no, there's no joke.
How long did you spend trying to figure it out before you got
a while,
the guts?
a while, because I obviously didn't want to walk in there and make an idiot of myself.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, a while.
It's funny because there are some fan theories online that there is actually a joke.
I love it. You can get on these threads and there's so many people know exactly what the joke is, you know. Oh no, it's this because it's a play on wine, or it's no, you've got to speak Welsh. I speak Welsh. I'm not telling you. No, it's brilliant. My mother phoned me to say, right, I'm in Tesco's. The manager's just said anyone who can come in and tell him what the joke means gets a free bottle of wine. And she went, what's the joke? I went, I can't say, Mum. I'm contracted. I can't tell it. That's what I didn't say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do people still come and ask you about it now?
Still. Yeah. Yeah, still.
And how do you feel about it? Because you've done some, you've done loads of amazing things, and you're still getting stopped to ask about a joke or the existence of a joke all these years later.
It's brilliant.
Now, you obviously play one of the, the favourite cult characters of the show, Steve. But I suppose the ultimate cult character will be Doris, played by Margaret John, and she's got a special place in your heart because you worked with her a lot, didn't you?
Yes, yeah. I worked with her on High Hopes. We did 6 series over 8 years, 3 specials. So yeah, we got really close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So close that she's here with us in one shape or form.
This is her. Lovely little photo of her that she would love.
I don't think she'd be very pleased that we chose that photo.
No, she wouldn't. No, you'd all be in for it. Definitely. She was perfect in Gavin and Stacey, I think.
Yeah.
You know, that little sweet-voiced grandmother type with the worst lines.
Yeah.
You know, with the worst lines.
Yeah.
But she delivered them perfectly.
Yeah. Definitely some of the stand-up moments, isn't it, that she gave.
Yeah.
You talk there about High Hopes. You've done it, and you're here working on a Fawlty Towers production at the moment. You've done your fair share of really top-end comedy, in your career. Where does Gavin and Stacey rank in that journey, do you think, for you, in terms of the impact it's had on the comedy scene in the UK?
it's got to be up there. I know, you know, we're here talking about it, you know,
Yeah.
so long after the first series came out. And I think you can't talk about top sitcoms in this country now without mentioning Gavin and Stacey. You can't.
Yeah.
You know.
And what is it like now, as an actor who's done all that comedy in the past, wanted to make, are you able to make as much comedy as there was coming out of the UK? Is there the next Gavin and Stacey coming out?
I don't know, you know. I don't think comedy in this country is in a great state at the moment. I don't think people are being given a chance to get their stuff out there. There's not the amount of opportunities for development. I do feel like there's not the individual voices in comedy today that you had in the noughties, in the 90s, and you know, and going back into the 60s, 70s, 80s with, you know, things like Blackadder and Monty Python and all that kind of thing. You don't seem to have anyone pushing the boundaries of comedy these days like you did back then.
Yeah.
You know?
And how does that make you feel?
Well, it's worrying, you know, for the future of comedy, in TV comedy especially, you know.
When you reflect back on the fact that you are part of this journey for Gavin and Stacey, how do you feel about that?
I am incredibly proud to have played a part in it, you know, and I will tell people that there's no joke for the rest of my life. Quite happy.
17 years after the first episode aired, and Gavin and Stacey is still one of the most watched series on the BBC. The heartwarming story of two families from different parts of the UK coming together deeply resonated with viewers who could see their own lives, their own experiences reflected back at them. Now the show's coming to an end, but some questions remain unanswered, like what really happened on that fishing trip? But without question, the Gavin and Stacey experience for us, the fans, well, it's been a blast, sugar tits.